Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Welcome back to my channel. Yes. It is me, Cordero Hudson, also known as the Wingman, because we all know that we all need somebody in this life to help us to achieve our goals. Whether it's to get girls, to me, as for me, it's for to help you guys to become financially independent, so you guys can retire either at retirement age or retire early, right? And so for my channel, we talk about different ways to invest. So I'm all about financial planning, money management, and we also talk about just dividend investing, dividend portfolios, the stock market, how to make money through affiliate marketing, and basically just how you could just make money passively through either through the stock market or through real estate, so that we can ultimately retire early. That is the goal. That is the goal. And we all know what this is. This is the sauce, because I'm about to give you guys that sauce. Ooh, yes. Everybody know that I deliver that fire content, because my content ain't nobody out here delivering the content that I'm giving you, because I'm giving you guys the tools that you may need, that you have to pay someone $500, $1,000, and I'm giving them to you for the freezy, for the free. So yes, we're talking about financial planning. We're talking about money management, and most importantly, we're talking about retiring early. And so, in a lot of my previous videos, I've talked about how to retire early, dividend investing, how the compound interest when you start out with just dollar cost averaging, and how it may start off small in the beginning, and when you work your way up to eventually it makes you money, so for you to be able to retire. Now, the earlier you start, you let time take its course. You're able to let your either your invest to ETFs, index funds, dividend stocks, crypto. You invest early, and eventually, after a while, it will grow to this big old stockpile of money and assets for you to be able to sell or keep, depending on which asset you invest into. But the most importantly is that the goal is that we all want to retire. And so for me, I am 34 years old. I want to retire by 50. Some people want to retire by 40, 45. And the ideal age to retire is at the age of 67. That's when you can file for Social Security. Now, you can take Social Security early, around 62, which you typically will get a lot less of your Social Security money. And then you can take Social Security at 70 to receive like the premium, right? And so we all are pretty, like I would say, 80% of the people that watch me don't need to be learning about Social Security. But you are here today because you want to learn about how to retire early. So let's talk about it. So how to calculate your FI number. So FIRE, we're part of the FIRE community. FIRE is financially independent, retire early. And so we all trying to figure out different ways to make money, rather it's through starting a business, YouTube channel, just a side business where, do affiliate marketing and through Amazon. The goal is to make money passively, so that you're able to, if you want to retire in the United States, you can, or you can leave and you go outside of the country. You still got passive money, passive income coming in. So you got to figure out your FI number. Your FI number is the number is basically the number that you know in your back of your head that you need to make, that you got to have in your bucket, so that once you hit that goal, you hit that number, I can leave my job. I can leave here. Rather it's through investing in real estate, a dividend portfolio, and investment portfolio. Once you have your FI number, you know for a fact that okay, I I've hit financial independence. I'm good. So if I was to get laid off today from my job, it is what it is, right? And so here's two examples. So this has an example of someone who has expenses of $40,000 and somebody who has an expense of $60,000 per year. And so the expenses, we all know expenses that includes our person's rent or mortgage, student loans, car note, car insurance, food. You add all that up on a monthly basis. So let's say you add all that up. Let's say it ends up being $3,000, right? You do that $3,000, and you multiply that $3,000 times 12 comes out to $36,000. And so for me, if I was calculating about $36,000, for somebody else, you know, their yearly expenses may be 40,000, 50,000, 60,000, right? So you multiply whatever your annual expenses, you take it on a monthly basis, times it by 12, and then that's how much your expenses is on a annual basis. Then you multiply it times the modifier, which is 25, which gives you your FI number. And so in this example, you have somebody with a FI number of $1 million, and then 1.5. You know what I'm saying? 1.5 million. And so here, so if your annual expense is $40,000 per year, times about 25, your financial independence number is $1 million. Once you've created an asset where there's a dividend portfolio, an investment portfolio, to that has a value of $1 million or $1.5 million, you can retire. Now, in previous videos, I've talked about ways and compound interest of how to get that $1 million, how to get that $750,000 through compound interest in dividend growth stocks and invest into crypto, Bitcoin. Dollar cost average, $500 per month, $1,000 per month. That's not this video. This video, we're going to talk about the savings rate that you need to accumulate to reach financial independence. And so right here, the first we need to talk about the FI number. Once you have your FI number, you know that I need to come up with a portfolio, whether it's through real estate or investment portfolio. My FI number is 1,000. No, a million. 1.5 million, $750,000. Once you have your FI number, then the next step you have to do is figure out your savings rate. Your savings rate to get you to your FI number, your financial independence number, so that you know that once you hit that number, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you get laid off or whatever happens. You can leave. You go walk away. You'll be good because basically your assets is going to pay you, and you can walk away. You can go to Costa Rica. You can go to Panama. You go to Puerto Rico, and you'll be good because your expenses. You multiply times 25. That's the goal that you need to reach aggressively, right? Sooner than later. And so your savings rate. What is your savings rate? So what most people don't understand is that with your savings rate, it's not. Yes. So you have so your paychecks. So you have what's coming in. You have your expenses. Your rent, food, mortgage. Yes, inflation has gone up. You minus it from your net income from your checks. So then whatever you have left is basically, let's say, your savings, right? But technically your savings is you taking that money and you put it into work. And so technically your savings rate is your investing rate. So whenever, if anybody, a financial planner, a wealth planner, any type of person that sit down with you and like, okay, what's your savings rate? They're asking you, what is the money that you're using on a per monthly basis, on a per annual basis, on a per yearly basis that you are, setting aside, that let's say you invest $20,000 per year or $15,000 per year. So what you do is that you take your gross annual, which is let's say you make $75,000. We'll go through this example in the next screen. You make $75,000 gross per year. Do your taxes, blah blah blah, and you know that okay, cool. It's like 55,000. Throwing out a number, right? And then you're paying, you're paying your mortgage, your rent, food, all this and that. Cool. Let's say now your net income from all your bills, everything that you pay. So then from that pool, how much money in that pool are you using to invest in? Let's say in your leftover money, let's say you're investing $500 per month. That you take that $500 per month divided by your net income, which is your gross minus taxes, your net income. That is your savings rate. That $500 that you invest per month. Now, David Ramsey and a lot of financial planners, what they say is that the best savings rate for just average Americans is about roughly 15%. And that's what they get with the, you invest to your 401k, you invest up to the match. So your company match up to 4%. You're investing to your 401k 4%. They match at 4%. 4 plus 4 is 8%. So then, Kadero, where's the rest of that 15%? Because if you do the math, 8 plus 8, that's 16. So that's 7, right? So where you getting the other 7%? So you're taking 4% of your from your 401k, another 4% you're getting matched from your company. So the other 7%, what are you investing in, right? That's when you open up a Roth IRA. You put, $450, $500 per month into the Roth IRA to make up the difference. And then what other people tend to do is that when they have extra more money coming in, where you're making more money, or you're taking on a second job, you're doing Uber, you're doing Grubhub or DoorDash, you are creating a YouTube channel, you're doing affiliate marketing, so you're doing drop shipping, making money from there. You're taking that extra money, and then what you tend to do is that you are taking the extra money, and then you are basically putting it into a taxable account, and then you invest into a broad ETF like VU, VTI, broad market ETF like VU or VTI, or you have maybe 5 to 10 dividend stocks that you are investing in that you're growing. Apple, Microsoft, maybe a growth stock like Tesla, and then boom, that's how you hit that 15% that David Ramsey or any of the money guys from the financial planners are saying for you to reach. And so that is the savings rate. But why does the savings rate matters? Two things. It means that you can live comfortably with a lower income, which decreases the amount of money that you need to save to retire. So in the previous screen, we talked about how to create your F.I.R.E number, which is, which the number for you to be able to live off of, because you're taking, we already went through that. But when you increase your savings rate, which means that you are taking more of your money to invest, theoretically, which is practically, you are living on less money. When you live on less money, you're training yourself to live on less money. In the future, the money that you're using to invest in, guess what? When you finally retire, in your budget, if you're investing $500, $1,000 per month, and theoretically, that money goes back to you, because you are not investing into anything anymore. You're just living, and then also you're training yourself to live on less money, and you're curving your spending. It's a duality. It's a win-win, right? Also, it means that you're putting more money away each month, which help you reach your goal. It's a win-win. So that's why the saving rate matters. And so we already talked about how to calculate the saving rate. So we talked about why does the saving rates matter. And so lastly, I have this savings rate calculator off of Net Worthify. I'm gonna put it down at the bottom, where you can just scroll down and you can click to see what I use to the in terms of my webcam or my microphone, and then also click on a couple links. It's going to be at the bottom for you to put in to see your savings rate, or the savings rate that you need for you to be able to retire early. So as we all know, as Americans, yes, we are living to work. Some people got spouses to help them do income. Other people like me, it's just one. So you just try to figure out what is the effective savings rate that I need to save for me to be able to retire early. And so right here, I'll put an example of a person that's making $75,000 with a savings rate of 30%. So how you get to that 30%? You get it from that 30% is that if your job matches dollar for dollar up to 4% or 5%, you invest up to the max of what your company is going to match with. That's 8%, right? Then you max out the Roth IRA. Right now, the Roth IRA increased their contribution limit from 6,000 to 6,500. You max out the Roth IRA, which will be roughly maybe from top of my head, I think like maybe $500, $550 per month. Don't quote me, but pull out the calculator, figure it out. Then the rest of the money you are putting into your taxable account, your brokerage taxable account through Fidelity, Schwab, M1 Finance, and you are buying broad market ETFs dividend growth stocks like Apple, Microsoft, you know, J.P. Morgan, Bank of America, and then boom, boom, boom. You're doing this every year. Boom, 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 boom. That's how you hit this 30% savings rate. And then guess what? Then also from my research, my research said the ideal savings rate is 50%. Now I know that's pretty crazy because we got inflation, people got children, people got responsibility. So I'm not recommending for people to go with the whole try to do a whole 50% savings rate. If you can, great, you'll be able to retire a lot early. So right here, uh just to show you, so if you click here, you use this tool to figure out what with your annual income and blah blah blah, and with the savings rate, it predicts, you put in 8% annual return, like for the stock market and whatnot. You put in the withdrawal rate that you're going to do, like 4%, right? And so you already created your F.I.R.E number. So you already know the F.I.R.E number, right? So then right here, it predicts you and tells you when, it says, if you stay on the course, that a person with those metrics, with those numbers, will be able to retire in 20 years. Now, let's say I told you that the magical number for everybody is if you can do a savings rate of 50, which is hard, I know, but if you're able to do a savings rate of 50, you can be able to retire within 13 years. That is crazy. That's crazy. So let's say a person at age 30, right? And they amassed this and they saved up 50% of their income, and they did it for 13 years straight and no deviation or anything. They can be able to retire in 13 years. But it's hard though. That is hard. And then it shows you right here at the back how just how your net worth grows with that. Now, mind you, say that 50% of your of having a 50% savings rate is pretty hard because you already got your money and you paying your mortgage and your rent, and you paying your necessity needs, and toiletries and food and whatnot. And this is like going off, like if you don't even have any kids. If you got kids, 1 or 2 kids, and a spouse, I get it because hopefully when you got a spouse or somebody else to help you, got dual income, you can at least try to strive for the goal, having a savings rate of maybe 20%, 25%, 30%, but 50% is basically you're not going on any trips. You're not going to brunch every week. You're going to work, and you probably stay at home, and you probably eat out here and there. So 50%, I understand it's for like super savers and people who are super about want to be financially independent and retire early and just live their life and be good. Not recommending that. I say the ideal saves rate about 25%. If you can get up to 30%, then you're a rock star. You are, then the whole I say 20 years out, you have, you just do, if you can get it up to having a 30% savings rate, and you do it for 20 years, you can be able to retire within 20 years, and you're good. And guess what? If you decide to start early, like 20, 25, and like trying to do this, you'll be able to retire by 40. Now, if you behind the 8 ball, you're doing this in your 30s or whatnot, okay, you'll be able to retire by 50, close to your 50s, like how I'm doing, and then you're good. If you want to retire at Panama or Costa Rica, or if anything, you'll be able to retire in those places a lot quicker because the standard of living there is a lot lower than United States and Australia or New Zealand. But all in all, just want to just wrap this up. You figure out your F.I.R.E number by figuring out your monthly expenses times 12, which becomes your annual expense, times about 25. That is your annual expense. That you have to worry about, the pot of money that you need to make through your portfolios real estate for you to know that's your FI number to retire. It could be $1 million, it could be a 1.5 million, it could be $750,000, right? Once you figure out your FI number, then you figure out your savings rate, and then you realize that by what you see what your net worth, whatever you have in your net worth is, then you go accordingly to okay. You sit down and you plan, and you can use this calculator, and then you can map out your savings rate and your savings. And basically your savings is not money in the savings account, it's the money, leftover money that you have that you allocate to invest into the stock market, invest into real estate, invest into hard assets like Bitcoin, gold, that's going to increase in return of equity, return of assets, that's going to give you, returns. And then, the more you do that, you figure out your savings rate, and then boom, you'll be able to retire. So hopefully you guys learned something and enjoy this. And I've enjoyed because I love talking about this finance thing because I'm trying to retire early. I'm trying to be in Panama or Brazil somewhere. So I'm living the dream. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video and watched it all the way through. And make sure you look at this video right here, click this video, and learn more about how to invest and make money in the stock market, rather through dividend investing or affiliate marketing. Peace.